It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 8 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be talking about Negan's backstory being revealed in 805 and whether that's going to happen. So this video contains some small comic spoilers, so if you're not a comic book reader or if you don't want to know about the events of the comic book, then you may not want to watch the rest of this video and go watch something else on the channel. There's a lot of videos that we've done so far for Season 8, so you can go and check one of those. So we're going to get into spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So if we take a look at where Negan is right now based on what we saw in the premiere of Season 8 and also based on the promo and sneak peek of the next episode, we know that Father Gabriel and Negan are going to be stuck in this container / trailer together. And it seems like Father Gabriel and Negan are going to have a heart-to-heart moment. And maybe Negan is going to open up to Father Gabriel and talk to him about what he's done and who he used to be. And in the sneak peek, we basically have Negan saying, "Why did you decide to be a priest?" or something along those lines. Father Gabriel replies, "I wanted to help people." And he says that, that's been my thing as well. I've always tried to help people as well. And he basically refers to his people and how they're all going to die because he's not there to save them. And, it's basically his way to open up to Father Gabriel about who he is and that he does have a heart, even though it doesn't necessarily seem like he has a heart or he cares about people at all. But just a side note, what's also very interesting is that he starts to whistle, and it's the exact same whistle that he did before he beat up Abraham and Glenn to death. So there's a bit of irony there, which I thought was very interesting. But that being said, if we take a look at the comic material, we can see something like this does happen in the comics. Way after All Out War, and after we meet another villain, we have a situation where Rick and Negan are stuck in the same sort of small room together. And this causes Negan to open up to Rick and talk to him about who he used to be. And through this conversation, we get to hear about Negan and who he used to be before the apocalypse and about his backstory a little bit. And this basically connects to the here's Negan, which is Negan's backstory. But if you remember, we got that backstory, or most of that backstory, way before this scene with Rick and Negan happened in the comics. So if we kind of compare these two scenes, we see that it's the exact same. In the TV show, we have Gabriel and Negan, and in the comics, we have Negan and Rick. Two major differences is that it happens at an entirely different time, way after All Out War in the comics, but it's happening during All Out War in the show. And second, in the comics, it happened between Rick and Negan, but in the show, it's happening between Father Gabriel and Negan. So are they going to remix the story and have it so that that whole conversation happens between Father Gabriel and Negan instead of Negan and Rick? Or are they simply going to remix it so that it happens twice? Something along the lines of Negan and Father Gabriel having this conversation in the show, maybe briefly, during this time, and then later on, when Negan and Rick are put in a similar situation, Negan recalls something like this happening to him before, kind of like a deja vu thing, and that's what prompts Negan to talk to Rick about his backstory. So there's two ways that this could go. I'm split right now. I don't know what they're gonna do, which way they're gonna go. I hope that they don't scratch the whole thing with Negan and Rick from the comics, because that was an important point in the comics. So I hope they don't scratch that. I hope that's still there, and this is simply them adding a bit more to it and planting the seeds before that scene happened. Now, one thing I want to mention before I end this video, Scott Gimple, who is the showrunner, was asked about this moment in the trailer, because this was in the trailer when we basically had Negan saying, "I hope you're wearing your shitting pants." Scott Gimple was asked about this, and he said that we may get parts of Negan's backstory come out through this. And this scenario with Father Gabriel and Negan might be a confessional booth sort of thing. So what that means is that, kind of like when you go and confess to a priest, we have Negan here confessing to Father Gabriel about the things he's done, or something close to that. I want to know everybody's opinions about this. Do you think that they're gonna tell Negan's backstory in 805 with Negan telling Father Gabriel about it? And do you think that that's going to be a remixed version of what happened in the comics? And if so, do you think that they're still gonna have that scene from the comics? Or are they going to take that out completely? That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.